Yes, hello there. It's your man, the only man, the truth teller, the triple B. Yeah, hi everybody. Hi everybody. I've done quite a few what's it called lives, which I really enjoyed, man. For me, they're socializing. But like I said, I get some nice super chats, super shekels, that kind of thing from me fans. But they always limit and monetize it. Like it'd be like if I'm lucky, it'll be like ATP, huh? Ad revenue. But I don't know. Time Booth says that his lives do really well in the ad revenue. I don't get it because I think he's more outrageous than the Triple B, like in terms of stuff. Maybe it's because Triple B talks about stuff he's not meant to. Anyway, so yeah, Time Booth. So everybody know I watch quite a lot of time with videos because I find, of course, I hark back to the old days, man, the original stuff. But yeah, he has to watch out a bit because he got zapped. There's some things he won't talk about, huh? Like True Geordie, okay. but uh, but yeah, apparently this is the big news, I guess. He said he's fighting. He's fighting in January. He is fighting in a boxing contest on a KSI undercard. Okay, so listen to this clip, right, from his most recent live.
What you've been doing all week, be honest. I've been on the phone to my advisor, Al Ayman, and I'll probably be boxing in January, on a KSI undercard. Yeah? What are you saying about that? We'll try and stream it, to this channel. So, yeah, I've got to do more content, man, because it's not good enough.
No, that's very interesting. Everybody know. People have been saying, Tyson, get in the ring, get in the ring. Everybody knows ex-pro boxer. Like I said, I believe he could have been British champion. I do. I do, because he didn't sell tickets. Okay, he was often the opponent, but he got some good wins, and a lot of people have been asking, oh, you got to fight again, you got to fight again. Well, now he will sell tickets because he got one of them funds. He's got about 26k subs, which in the YouTube world is not considered that big. Okay, but in a niche in boxing to sell tickets in the UK, huh, that is interesting. Okay, but that last clip, so there's a few weird. So he says I've been talking to my. I mean, he's a piss taker, time, right? But he's also quite honest, which is I think why a lot of people, they like to check out his his videos because he's honest. He can't help himself, especially when he got his drink on. Huh? But he said, I'm talking to my advisor Al Heyman. That's where I'm like, hang on, man. Like Al Heyman's big. I don't, to my knowledge, he's not done any YouTube style shows. That's not to say that he wouldn't, because there's A, money in there, and B, okay, there's a lot of rumors that a lot of boxing is about, boxing promotion is about money laundering, right? You set up a promotion, all that drug money you've made, wash it through the promotion in a number of different ways. Fake ticket sales, fake this, fake that. Oh, I had to pay this for that. I had to rent this. I had to, and before you know it, the money you made, okay, on on drugs is now become clean. So a lot of people saying that happens a lot in boxing. And boxing, in many ways, is a perfect way to do this because it's not unregulated, but it's not regulated like other team sports. Um, the promoters have a lot of control. Okay, you know. There's many different promoters, organizations, sanctioning bodies, this kind of thing. So it's a lot easier to wash money. And you've only got, two guys in a fight, as long as they get paid, they're happy, So a lot of people are saying that these fights, especially YouTube fights, are used as massive money laundering operations to clean dirty money, usually drug money. And obviously, this was said about MTK a lot. But there's many more people. Recently, who was that? Mayweather. Who did he fight? Deji. That's KSA brother, right? And I mean, that was one of the wackest bills I've seen. And it's in the Emirates. I mean, they're not that interested in like Tommy Fury, who's a co-headline in an exhibition. That was used to wash money, for example. One of the guys organising it is a major Pakistani, in inverted commas, businessman, binny man. Okay, all right. So that would be an example. Some will say so. There are rumors about Heyman and PBC as well. Okay, you can find this on mainstream media even. Rumors that the involvement is not 100% legit. Okay, but it's very interesting so TYAN claims he's in conversation with Al Heyman. Now that seems a bit weird because Heyman is a massive, would name a massive, powerful man in boxing. And there's part of me that thinks, well, was TYAN ringing up high on weed and drank, talking about his fight. But it's not impossible, because if they were to organise a big Deji fight in the UK, yeah, TYAN may not be known to the big public a lot, although he's appeared in things like The Sun. So it's not difficult to boost a man's profile, right? Think about it. Yeah, and I'll get on to this guy about Dylan Dennis. Dylan Dennis, is that his name? He's a MMA fighter. He hasn't had many fights, and he hasn't fought since in MMA 2019 in Bellator. We had 2 fights, and because of some scuffles he's had, with Habib in the Conor McGregor fight, and he's always in these, like, they're not really street fights, but he's always these little tear-ups here and then. He gave was it Deji or KSI a slap? One of them 2 Nigerians a slap. He's also been choked out by a bounce. I mean, he keeps on getting his face in the news, and there's plenty of guys like this that create some kind of PR very easily. It wouldn't take a lot to create some PR hustle, some PR news about TYAN. It would be pretty easy. And, he got a lot, his fans, he got a lot of dedicated fans now. He's got his funds. And they will buy tickets to the UK. Not in the Emirates. No one know him in the Emirates. But in the UK, yeah, man. So it's possible. It's not impossible. I just find it kind of weird. And I haven't heard nothing about this event. And, there'd been other talk, like TYAN once said, oh, Dean White, Lamar Scott was going to put him on one of his promotions. Nothing happened with that. But, you could see him. He's 39 now. He's 39. I think he looked good for his age, no homo. But he's still 39. He hasn't been in the gym for years. But, it takes 2.5 months, man. And he mentioned in that clip, I'm fighting some MMA fighter. And a lot of this happens, isn't it? You get a lot of these YouTube celeb type fights. Boxing vs MMA, this kind of stuff. And interestingly, if you notice, at the beginning of his video, the stream, okay, his most recent one, he talks about Anthony Taylor, an MMA fighter called Anthony Taylor, which you can see here. Okay. Now, he doesn't mention the name of this MMA fighter, but this guy Anthony Taylor is another example of how, the Andy Warhol 15 minutes of fame, how easy it is to get. Yes, sorry about Tyson. He's snoring away, man. He's just had a lot of food blood and a nice walk. So, you don't like to walk that far, but for him, you get me. So, at the beginning, he opens the video with Anthony Taylor interviewing some slag who apparently is into celebrity boxing, and allegedly, she gets her baps out when Chelsea win. I don't know. So, yeah, it's so easy to be famous, especially if you're a woman. You basically just get your baps out. Yeah. And she be interviewed by Anthony Taylor, who was hired by, I think, IFL, which is quite weird. Anthony Taylor is no name. He's got a boxing record of 2 wins, 3 losses. He boxed Tommy Fiore, and Fiore won on points. He has a 7-5 MMA record, but I don't see any names that I recognise on his record. He called himself the pretty boy. I mean, You know, I mean, I'm not an expert on handsomeness and looks, so I ain't into that. But yeah, you know, he's okay looking. He ain't no pretty boy, really. You know, someone like Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is definitely a pretty boy. He's easy to spot. You know, usually running into Oscar De La Homo's kitchen and getting smashed by the whisk, in and out violently. But but I mean, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. You know, I didn't find out much information. Like he didn't mention his name, but the insinuation is there by talking about Anthony Taylor, and he fits the bill. He's a right weight. Like TYAN fought as a light middle, I think. But you know, now he said he was like 40.5 stone, so he'd probably fight Taylor at light heavy or cruiserweight. And it's very easy to whip up, as I said, PR and a frenzy about this. You know, you say, oh yeah, oh this is Time Booth. He said this, he said that. You know, he's got plenty of good quotes there. Anthony Taylor and him get into a little scuffle, and before you know it, it's a big fight. So, it's not impossible. I don't know. I just never heard about this from anywhere. I searched online. I couldn't find nothing about it. But, I mean, I'd be up for that. I would actually... yeah, you know what? These celeb fights don't largely interest me, but I sit in my basement with nothing to do, so I end up watching them on a stream. But, you know, would I buy a ticket? I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, it might be quite fun. It might be quite fun. You know, turn up and in my David Greenblatt outfit. But it depends who's fighting on the bill. I don't know. I wouldn't ever. You don't want to turn up just for one. It wouldn't be exhibition. I assume it'd be pro, right? Which brings another question: who would, if it is a genuine pro fight, who would sanction it? Obviously, the board banned Tyson because he made a comment about a guy called Scott Westgarth, and you know, it was a little bit. It was you know, it wasn't the most tactful. He said something like, "Oh, a lot of people would like me to get damaged, like Scott Westgarth, you know, because they don't like me." You know, he wasn't saying anything against Scott essentially, but you know, some people say it's distasteful, so you got a ban. So I don't know what's happening with that. So would he have to go back to the board and get a British boxing license off, and then? But he's also 39. He's no spring chicken. It depends how corrupt the board are. You know, I'm sure they're very corrupt. But you've got to be on their tribe, yeah. You got to be on their society, and then they'll do what they want for you. I've heard of pro fighters being told on the phone, "You would never box for us again because we don't like you." You feel me? Yeah. I can't reveal names, but you know, the British Boxing Board are a unregulated private company with over £1 million in cash in the bank, who have taken it upon themselves to allegedly license boxers and so on. But they're just a private company. I could open Triple B, Boxing Border Control, tomorrow. I mean, I had to find fighters to fight on it. Other people have tried this, Bieber and stuff like that, and it hasn't really worked because you need to get the names on board. But I don't know. I mean, has Deji got... No, what's his name? The other one, KSI. Has he got a British Boxing Border Control license? I'm not sure. There are always ways around it. If there's enough money, they'll find a way around it. But I was just interested. I expect that, to my knowledge, this is the first time that this was mentioned by TYAN, Booth, or anyone else. But that he might be fighting on a KSI undercard. And he's like, "Yeah, I've got to train. Got to train because I don't want to lose." Check him out talking about it.
Chicken nuggets fucking killed my dad. Are you worried you'll lose? I'm fucking petrified. Because I know a lot of people would love it. You know, like Coogan. And fucking Hor Phelps. Sometimes I have like dreams, you know, that I've lost a fight or I've been knocked out like in front of these fucking people who I've been dissing over the years, you know, in these videos.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, yeah, I think it would generate some interest. The only thing I gotta say is that I worry because Time Booth is being bought. Is he being bought? I mean, is he the True Geordie situation, the True Geordie payments, the live disappearing because he sort of came True Geordie a bit, um, and now being offered money to fight. You know, if it's true on a okay, sign the card and make some money. You know, I think probably he'd been bought. He's been bought, or it was on his way to being bought. Because this is how they, and by they I mean the elitist, NW, or whoever you want to say, this is how they buy you. I mean, how they control you. What you say and what you do. By. Huh? They do it by threatening you, or offering you money, or both. You know? And the threats don't have to be overt. It's like, listen, man, you know, if you want to be safe, then you got to do the right things. We'll take care of you. You shouldn't be upsetting these people. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. All right? When the chubby gets bigger, maybe when I got more subs, I'll be getting them threats. But I've already got some of them threats, by the way. Huh? Don't talk about this person. Don't do that. Huh? You wait till you see the emails I got. You get me? All right? So this is no, it's no fantasy. It's no fantasy. It happens. And oh, my boy Little Musgrave, you know, I like the man comment, but he was a bit naughty, so he said this in the live to time.
Triple B has just finished his stream, so your bomb little live might get some views now. So whatever, innit? If the guy overtakes me, he overtakes me. If he fucking gets more subscribers than me, well done, man.
Yeah, you're a bit naughty there, Musgrave. Nah, whatever, man. You know, things about Tiny, he'll laugh about things and say things. He mentioned Chubby quite a lot, to be honest, and I appreciate that. But there have been odd sort of slight warning signs. Oh, Triple B shouldn't talk about this because he might get closed down. Yeah. Do you see how it works? Do you see how it works? You know, and TYAN's not allowed to talk about certain subjects if you notice that on his lives. So, you know, it's a weird world. The world. They will, you know. I'm like Chubby's just low level. Well, why would they care? But they do. They watch you and they train their. Because you might get bigger, number one. Number two, they train their the 77th Brigade and other people, nefarious organisations will train their recruits, okay, on lower channels. By that I mean they will train them on how to influence them. They will train them how to find information on them. I can usually spot them, but even it's not always easy. People will make friends with you, give you money, like super shekels and things, yeah, and then try and get information out of you, then be your friend. So, you know, you got to watch it. I mean, it's like being a secret agent, basically. You got to watch your ass. Yeah? You got to watch your ass. Because otherwise you end up at Oscar De La Hoya's kitchen. Yeah? And he's got a smile on his face. His eyes are all open. They're like glaring with the yayo. And he's got a grin on that face and a huge electric whisk in his hand. He's headed towards you. Yeah? And he's come to collect. And Chubby won't do that. He won't. He don't want to be in that situation. I don't be in no Oscar De La Hoya's kitchen. You get me? All right. But anyway, yeah, it's quite interesting in Tambu fight. Let's see if it's actually something happens. If it's real, potentially I believe so. Potentially I believe there may be some conversations. I hope time doesn't sell out 100%. That's all. Yo.